This is KGW News at noon.
Portland police bust through the door of the Washington Center, a downtown building plagued by squatters, violence, and overdoses. PPB's Bike Squad posted this video on Instagram just hours ago. Hello, everyone. I'm Brenda Braxton. Thank you for joining us today. This old mall is at the corner of 4th and Washington, and officers worked with a private company to clear it. KGW has reported on this property before. Just earlier this month, it was the site of 11 overdoses, 3 of them fatal. Today, the owner of the building hired a private company to board up and secure the area. However, police received reports that people were living inside, so they say they're making sure the building is empty before it's sealed off. Yesterday, KGW talked to people living on the street who told us what they really need is access to resources.
There needs to be more things in the street, more services, more, all they tell you is to go to treatment. That's it. They're not really educating people on why we hurt, on where the hurt comes from.
Police started 24-hour walking patrols around the building earlier this week to tackle what they call an overwhelming amount of drug dealing and overdoses. In Salem, the second of 3 new homeless shelters opened its doors today. The Arches Lodge on Northeast Fisher Road will provide beds for mostly veterans and families. There's a laundry room and community area, as well as connections to mental health resources. Project Turnkey is funding both Arches Lodge and Yaquina Hall, which held a ribbon cutting last week. Here's Salem's mayor on the significance of the project.
We have people living on our streets and dying on our streets, and it's projects like this that are going to help us in that.
The final shelter to open under this project will be at the Salem Navigation Center on Southeast 22nd. All 3 will serve almost 2,000 people experiencing homelessness in Polk and Marion counties. Now to the latest on the birthing center at Legacy's Mount Hood Medical Center in Gresham. In a letter sent to staff, Legacy's president says the birthing center will reopen sometime in the next 3 months. This became a very big story last month when it closed March 17th without the necessary approval from the Oregon Health Authority. At the time, Legacy says it shut down the center because of staffing issues and because fewer people were having babies there. But East County residents push back, angry about losing this resource. Legacy's president says they're still working on the details, but they will eventually submit their reopening plan to the Oregon Health Authority. Educators in Woodburn rallied for better pay and working conditions last night after a special meeting with the school board. Since last summer, the teachers union and the district have been in bargaining, but they remain stuck on issues including pay, special education caseloads, and prep time. Last month, the district offered a 12% cost of living raise over 3 years, plus bonuses for bilingual and special education staff. The Woodburn Education Association says more than 60 teachers have resigned since the beginning of the school year.
We love what we do. We have a very strong commitment, but we also deserve to be able to support our families with dignity.
This is the first year that it's even crossed my mind to go elsewhere. I've always thought that I would retire in Woodburn probably.
If they don't come to an agreement by April 19th, the bargaining team says they plan to go on strike Monday, the 24th. Well, snow was in the forecast today, and a lot of you posted pictures. Rod, you're going to show a few right now.
Here we go again, right? So, yeah, thank you for all your reports. We had a lot of reports of at least big snowflakes mixing with rain at times throughout parts of the metro area. And then a couple of pictures I want to share with you. This is up in elevation a bit, getting into Banks. Now we're on our way up into the Coast Range. And that doesn't look like a lot. I mean, it looks to me like there was a solid inch, maybe a little bit more than that on the railing there. And then this one from Katie, this was at Camas up in Camas, Livingston Mountain. I'm not sure the elevation there, but it is up. And that looks like that was a good maybe 3 inches, maybe more than that on the railing there. So for some areas, it was bona fide, yeah. We got snow on the ground. Here's the radar right now. Early this morning, the snow level for sticking snow was below 1,000 feet. That snow level is now higher and could go all the way up to about 2,000 this afternoon. So it's rain in Portland and Canby, mostly light stuff right now. Still snowing up in the Cascades. Cannon Beach has actually opened up some beautiful sunshine in the past couple of hours. Different story up on Mount Hood, where they may equal yesterday's total of about 3 inches or so of new snow. Currently, Portland is sitting at 44. And that is an unchanged temperature from an hour ago. So we will do well to get up to 50 or 52. We will need some sun breaks to accomplish that. And that's your forecast for now. We're still tracking what could be a nice weekend. That's coming up.
All right, Rod, thank you.
It's going to be a hard day, I think. But, we will see. We're all ready for it.
The murder trial of Lori Vallow Daybell continues today in Boise, Idaho. She's the 49-year-old mother charged with killing her 2 kids and her husband's ex-wife. Yesterday, the lead detective took the stand. He described finding Vallow's kids buried on property owned by her 5th husband, Chad Daybell.
Just a few inches deep. It wasn't very deep at all before we saw the round object. It appeared, looking at it, appeared to be like a texture of a plastic bag. They continue to dig around that, what we started to call the burial site.
Vallow didn't watch as the prosecution showed photos from the murder scene and the autopsies. Reporters say she sat slumped with her back to the gallery. Earlier in the day, Vallow's lawyer argued that given the graphic evidence and her mental state, she should be able to leave for the afternoon. The judge said no, stressing her presence is required for a fair trial. Portland State University has rearmed its campus police. KGW's Catherine Cook went to the campus downtown to get reaction from students.
At Portland State University Tuesday, students learned PSU's sworn officers are once again carrying guns on most patrols.
I think the only thing I can say is that it's uncomfortable for students.
University President Stephen Percy explained the reasons why in this letter posted on the school's website. He said PSU officers are encountering an increasing number of weapons on and near campus and getting limited help from the Portland Police Bureau.
And I'm hoping that everything stays safe. I'm hoping that they don't have to use them.
PSU students JD and Edward both say they feel less comfortable approaching officers now, knowing they're armed.
Before I knew this, I was definitely more willing to talk to campus police if I had a situation or a problem. But if they do have guns, they might accidentally mistake me for it. But I also do. I can also see why somebody would want them carrying it just in case that something happens.
In 2018, campus police shot and killed Jason Washington. At the time, he was trying to break up a fight near the Cheerful Tortoise. In a settlement agreement, PSU paid Washington's family $1 million. Calls to disarm PSU officers followed. The murder of George Floyd strengthened those calls. In 2020, PSU announced they would change the way police patrolled on campus. Sworn officers carried guns only at the discretion of PSU Police Chief Willie Halliburton. At the time, Halliburton had this to say.
Things have changed. We have to try to reinvent or try to find a way to do police work that's beneficial for not just police officers, but for the community. I truly believe this is what we need here at Portland State. It will work here.
But not for as long as many had hoped. In a video to students, Halliburton said the environment around PSU's campus has changed since then. And now, a PSU spokesperson tells KGW carrying a weapon will be left to officers' discretion. While the future is unclear, students just hope history doesn't repeat itself.
With past history, it's always shown to the more guns, the more violence, and that goes with both parties.
Catherine Cook, KGW News.